Hi everybody and welcome back yet again to another drum playthrough review. Only this time we're venturing out once again to the guitar world. Thank you all for tuning in and stopping by. It's great to have everyone here. For those of you brand new, hello and welcome. My name is Nick. I'm a multi-instrumentalist as well as a mixing and mastering dude. And I also like to watch these videos because it's great to take the technique and the style of other people who are much better than us. Use that so that way we can make ourselves better musicians and ultimately use it to learn and to benefit from. So that way we can continue to play and continue to get better as we go along. So today we're looking at a band whom I've grown to love over the years, whom at first was a little bit strange and a little bit beyond my comprehension when I first heard of them, but they've become one of my favorite bands, and also I absolutely love their writing style, their play style, their sound, and everything about them. And also one of the founding members and guitarists of the band, Scott Carstair. He's a very inspiring guitarist to me, and honestly, he's helped me really take a step back and look at how I play guitar and how I write riffs and all that. And he's really helped me to change myself to become a little bit, a little bit better of a guitar player. Not as good as him, but hopefully I will be one day. I'm on his streams a lot. You can check me out there. You can find me. I'm usually going under the moniker District Drummer 999. I'll go ahead and just show you that down below right there. But we're going to be checking out a band called Fallujah. Fallujah is a technical death metal band that's found from, I believe, the Bay Area of California. I'm not 100% sure. I might be wrong about that. They're somewhere in California. I don't really know about what goes on over that side of the world. But they're an absolutely excellent band. I absolutely love them. I found nothing but joy from listening to their music. And it's very inspiring music for me to listen to, especially because they take things in a very interesting direction that not a lot of tech death bands go in. And it's very beautiful melodic music that they write that's very avant-garde. It's very interesting because you don't see a lot of people really coming up with riffs like they do. So we're going to be checking out a guitar playthrough that was done for Fallujah by Scott and the other guitarist. I forget his name. I'll look it up and just put his name right there in the video. I know I'm feeling very shameful about that right now. We're going to check out a guitar playthrough that they did of one of their songs off the most latest record that they put out, Empyrean, and the song name is Embrace Oblivion. It is my favorite song off of the new record. It's amazing. I find it to be absolutely beautiful, absolutely ambient and technical and heavy. It's great. There's nothing bad I can say about the song. I think it's awesome. So we're going to watch these two Chads absolutely rip it on guitar, and hopefully we'll be able to learn some really interesting techniques from these guys. I have faith that it's going to be a very good playthrough, and I have faith that it's going to be pretty awesome. Maybe it's because I've watched it a couple times before, and that's why I'm saying that. But you get what I'm saying. So we're going to get into this, and we're going to find out what we can learn from their technique, so that way we can become better guitarists. All right, ladies and gents, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. This is Embrace Oblivion by Fallujah. What an interesting lead line, too. Scott comes up with the greatest lead lines. He really does. Not to mention, he's an improvisation master. Very funky riffs as well. Like, seriously, you don't hear tech death bands making riffs like this nowadays. So you'll notice on the Herdas what Scott's doing. He's not doing all down picking when he does it. He does the Herda and then he does that other eighth note on the up hit, on the upstroke. Very efficient way to do it. Very efficient. Instead of having to do the Herda and then do a downstroke, much better way. There's nobody that writes lead lines like that. It is insanely good. So tasty. Not to mention, their songwriting ability as a band is great. They're the reason why they're one of my favorite bands and why Empyrean was one of my favorite albums of last year. Because the songwriting is just unmatched. And because they've served as such a massive inspiration for me, personally. Not to mention, listen to the harmonies that they're using as well. They're bouncing off each other really well. So when they start using the faster bits on their picking hand, they're usually using a lot of wrist technique in there. They're also not pressing down too hard on the strings to cause a bend in the note and cause therefore a deformity in the note quality. So keeping it all very loose is going to be beneficial to their playing. Not to mention all the ambience that they're using from the other guitars and the lead lines and all that. It adds so much to the music. It's great. That was before Scott got all his arm tattoos too. This was like a year ago. Now he's got like the whole half sleeve going on, and that's something I kind of want to do myself, but it's painful and expensive, you know? And here comes the solo from Scott. Let's go. That's just insanely tasty and smooth. He's also one of the reasons why I started using so much tapping in my lead lines, because it sounds so good. It sounds so clean. Oh man, it's so great. I love Scott, man. He's great. I'm not talking, by the way, just talking about Scott, I'm not trying to throw shade at the other guitarist. I just don't know his name. He's an excellent rhythm guitarist, and if you look at his technique, he's very loose and clean. They both are excellent guitarists, and they bounce off each other so well. Very nice, big, open, wide chords. Very interesting chords as well that I'm seeing there. Wow. I love it. This is why I love the band so much. They're just absolutely phenomenal musicians. They bounce off each other so well. It's beautiful. There's definitely a lot to break down as far as their technique goes, and it's really interesting too to see how two guitarists can bounce off each other so well. By the way, the other guy's name is Sam. Excellent job, Sam. I'm sorry that I forgot your name. I'm going to link both their YouTube channels down below as well, just so that way you guys can go ahead and take a look at them and subscribe to them, because they're absolutely fantastic. They're great dudes. But dude, the two of those guys bounce off each other so well, and their creativity is unmatched. But let's talk about the technique that they're using there. This is where I get to bust out my guitar. So you'll see when they were playing, the picking hand wasn't going too crazy, like, you know, stiff or anything. They weren't coming from the elbow with it. They were keeping it really loose. They were keeping a lot of it from the wrist when they were starting to go fast. And this is a good thing. If you'll check out some of my other guitar videos that I've done where I've reviewed like Adam D'Amico, you'll notice when Adam starts to do some of the really crazy fast rhythms, he's using it, it's coming a lot from the elbow. While this can be beneficial to achieve the sound that you want, it's not really necessarily that good because of the strain that it puts on your tendons and other muscles. You generally, when you're starting to go really fast, you want to switch to a smaller muscle group. So switching to your wrist is going to be a little bit more beneficial. You'll also notice as well that when they were doing their picking and all that, they were keeping it real nice and tight and confined. They weren't like doing these massive big motions. If I use really big motions when I'm playing a riff, let's just say for example something like this, I'm gonna hit a bunch of strings that I don't want to hit, and that's gonna cause the playing to sound sloppy. But if I use a little bit more tighter motion, it's going to be a lot cleaner sounding. It's not going to sound as messy, and it's going to come out with a better product, especially on the recording. They're using a lot of really interesting chords that I saw of as well. I believe they're tuned to B flat or B standard or something like that. I'm seeing a lot of really interesting, crazy chords like out there instead of just like the classic power chords and all that. And then they're also using octave harmonies as well to, you know, add extra layers and lead lines into it. It's absolutely insane. Not only that, but Scott with the whammy bar and using all those like really interesting, really, you know, like all that stuff is just, it blows my mind. I find it great. It's just crazy how these guys can come up with music that is just, There's nothing that sounds like it. It's unmistakable as a style. Their technique is very, very good, if not flawless, and they keep everything really nice and tight. They're not depressing the strings and pressing too hard when they're playing and distorting the note and changing the quality of the note. They're keeping everything very nice and loose, and everything sounds really good. This can also be attributed as well. Part of the reason why this also sounds so good is the gear that they're using. Using really good gear does help make your performance sound a lot better. But it only really works if you as a player sound good already. So make sure you practice things slow, get down the right technique, and use that so that way when eventually you do switch to better gear, it's ultimately going to make your sound feel a whole lot better and sound a whole lot better. So what an excellent job on Sam and Scott's part right here. It's a phenomenal playthrough. Once again, I'll link their channels down below just so that way you guys can go support them and check them out. And if you ever want to go on to a stream or anything like that as Scott Carstairs, you'll probably find me on there. I'm under the moniker of District Drummer, so if you guys want to find me on there and, you know, say hello or what's up, that's where I'll be. And with all that being said, y'all, that's going to be the end of this video. So here's just a few things that y'all can do to support me. So for one, you can like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. You can also check out the links that I have to my band Spotify and my band page, as well as also you can check out the playlist I have with videos very similar to this. And with all that being said, y'all, that's going to be the end of this video. So thanks everyone for tuning in and stopping by. It's been great having you, and I'll see y'all hopefully in the next one. Cheers, fellas.